And if I don't know Ukrainian, nobody will know Ukrainian. It says, Учися, дитино, бо учитися треба. That's study my child because you gotta study. Учися, голубку, най розум не спить. Study, my pigeon, don't let your brain sleep. Учися, голубку, най розум не спить. Най серце і воля, і дух росне в силу, для життя for life треба ще учити. We gotta study.
Okay, now let's since we're on Ukrainian.
What did I say so far?
I don't know, but let me tell you what I do know. Is you used to tell me that you used to be a Ukrainian dancer.
Yeah.
And you used to sing songs.
Dancer.
A Russian dancer, and you used to sing songs.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me about?
No, that was not nice. Anyway.
Tell me about the Russian dancing. How did you learn?
I didn't learn. I saw it in the theater when my father and mother had a chance to go to town with all their children. They took us to this Russian play. So that's all we learned.
So then you learned to do the dance.
I saw how it's done.
Okay. Then how did you get into? Because you used to do the Cossack dance, right?
Oh well, there was some one man instructor used to say ras и два. You'd say you take one step and then the second step and then two together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And we learned to dance those dances when the man came to town and helped us little kids. He had a bunch of kids he was teaching. He was getting paid for it.
So did you do any shows with, where sisters would dance?
There were groups.
Groups, okay.
Yeah.
So the groups.
Right there, between the schools and
Okay.
between the. You didn't go anywhere. I
So
know
did
one
you-
time we went to a high school to dance, and one time, I don't know, but I know we went to a high school and there was like Little Park or whatever.
Yeah. So what was the there were the songs that you used to sing.
The what?
The Russian songs.
Очи черния, очи красния, очи страстния и прекрасния. Я люблю я вас, как боюся вас. Очи черния.
But there was another one.
All right, now who could say at least part of what I sang?
Don't know. But there were others. There were one that were, I remember, very fast ones, quick time.
Well, I'd have to have one word out of it. I don't know.
I don't remember. So it's fun. So it must have been something.
We used to sing "Люблю я маму, люблю отца." This was written. "Люблю ту хату, де я зросла. Люблю ту річку, що вдень пливе. Неньку, що хлібом кормить мене. Потім лишу, що люблю я. Це моя красна рідна земля. not many people know.
Right. Okay,
And
say
I could
so.
translate what I said.
Let's move and say you met my father, Bayarsky, old man Bayarsky. Or Kravetsky, wasn't it Kravetsky?
Kravetsky and
So
my
you met.
mother-in-law.
So somewhere you met Kravetsky's
Kravetsky
late
married
Mary Kravetsky. Tell me about meeting Mary Kravetsky.
Kravetsky and Mary, Uncle Joe's wife, married Kravetsky. Yeah, that's about it. They lived together or whatever. And I don't know, one of them died, and then there was another, whatever.
Well, wait a minute. Mary Kravetsky married. Well, there was a Kravetsky.
Yeah.
Okay, now was Dad born from Kravetsky?
No.
So Mary
that was-
Kravetsky must have met somebody else, Bayarsky.
Boyarsky, that was from Europe. Buyarsky came from Europe, and in
What was his-
Allentown.
what was
it
his-
had nothing to do with this.
What was his name?
Buyarsky.
John Buyarsky, wasn't it? Maybe.
John Buyarsky.
Okay, what kind of guy was he? Who worked for the railroad?
Kravetsky worked at the railroad.
And Kravetsky then died of cancer or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and they lived in Railroad Street, right? Because I remember railroads.
That Railroad Street was in Allentown. That
Right.
was another time.
Well, I know it's another
Well,
time, but
yeah.
you met Dad, and he was John Boyarsky still alive at that time?
I doubt it. When I met that Mary Golden, met her husband from Allentown, Golden, the
You're
name
right,
was.
Nick Golden.
And then I was their bridesmaid,
Yeah,
and Daddy was the usher.
he was an usher in Nick Golden's wedding.
Yeah, and I was the bridesmaid.
So how did you meet Mary Golden?
Well, she was from Allentown. She was one of our girlfriends.
Well, but you lived in Armrod. How did you?
Well, we weren't that far apart. This was out
It's
in the country.
Yeah, it's 10 miles out there, so it was far in those days. So
Well-
how did you meet Mary Golden?
With church. Mostly
Church,
people
okay.
came from church.
And where was the church?
In Northampton.
In Northampton. And that church was what, the Greek Orthodox or the Russian Orthodox? Which one was it?
Something like that.
Something
Orthodox.
like that. Orthodox. So that's how you met Mary Golden.
Yeah.
And so you became friends with Mary Golden.
Yeah.
And so what happened is that so here we have Nick and Mary Golden.
Yeah, you
Did you do things together with?
Yeah,
Well,
we're a group of people. It was just like we're sitting here.
Yes.
We used to sit on the outside.
But you met my father. Okay. Because he was an usher in Mary
Mary's
Golden's
wedding.
So you didn't meet my father for the whole time that you were friends with Mary Golden until she married Nick, but you must have met Nick.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us.
Well, when Nick married his Mary Golden, then I was a bridesmaid, and
Yeah, that I can understand, but how, tell me about Mary Golden and you before Mary got married. Did you run around? Did you go to parties?
the kids were playing.
You're not kids anymore. You're young ladies.
Well, we
So what
weren't-
did you do?
We weren't
Did you go-
really grown-up ladies.
Did you go to dances? You did something? Did you play bingo? What did you do?
Played around the trees there out in Bath, out in the yard, go swimming in the reservoir, and that's about it. You
Did you
couldn't-
smoke pot?
Who knew what that was?
Yeah. Did you smoke cigarettes?
There were cigarettes, yeah.
Did you drink beer, booze?
Well,
I mean, you're young girls. How old were you?
Old men drank
How
beer.
how old were you when you got married?
In the 20s, I guess.
So-
just about 20 or something.
So you never had any beer until you were married? Never had anything to drink until you were married? Never.
We didn't. You couldn't get it.
Ah.
The men, if they had a bottle of beer, they hit it.
Why was that?
Huh?
Prohibition?
I don't know.
You remember?
Pop brought certain things from Allentown, and they had themselves a little party somewhere, and that's all. The kids didn't get it.